Majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44.2a, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 29th April 2025, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, as members will note, tomorrow shall be a public holiday, and in this regard, the House is scheduled to proceed for a 3-week-long recess and resume its regular sittings on Tuesday, 27th May 2025, in line with our House calendar. As we proceed on the recess, the House still awaits reports on various business referred to committees. The recess period, therefore, will give committees ample time to expedite consideration of business pending before them, as this is a working recess. Honorable Speaker, upon resumption, the House shall continue with the consideration at second reading of the Political Parties Amendment number 2 Bill, Senate Bill number 26 of 2024, should it not be concluded today. Additionally, debate will also be undertaken on the following motions, should they not be concluded today. 1, the third report on consideration of the audited accounts of specified state corporations. 2, report on consideration of the audited accounts of state corporations from Central Region. 3, consideration of sessional paper number 7 of 2024 on the National Sanitation Management Policy. And 4, consideration of comprehensive economic partnership agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. Having said that, Honorable Speaker, allow me to also speak to the matter regarding the court case on the Road Maintenance Levy Fund, RMLF. As members may be aware, a constitutional petition and an application for conservatory orders, both dated 16th August 2024, were filed in the High Court by 5 petitioners, that is Isa Elanyi Chamao, Patrick Karani Ekirapa, Paul Ngeyuo Kirui, and the International Legal Consultancy Group Limited, and the Council of County Governors. The petition challenges the constitutionality of the decision of the National Assembly made on 28 September 2023 to remove county governments as a beneficiary of RMLF. It also challenges another decision of the National Assembly made on 13 August 2020, removing county governments as beneficiaries of Kenya shillings 10,522,211,853 shillings. Conditional grants from the funds derived from RMLF in the financial year 2024-2025. The petitioners further challenge the constitutionality of KERA and KURA on the grounds that they infringe on the functions of county governments. Furthermore, that the decisions of the National Assembly were made without public participation or consultation with the Senate. The petitioners, Honorable Speaker, also allege that Section 47 of the Kenya Roads Act number 2 of 2007 and Section 6 of the Kenya Roads Board Act 1999 do not meet the threshold of the Constitution, as they do not recognize county governments, thus undermining devolution. Honorable Speaker, the petitioners are seeking several declarations and orders inter alia. 1, a declaration that Section 47 of the Kenya Roads Act number 2 of 2007 and Section 6 of the Kenya Roads Board Act of 1999 are unconstitutional for undermining devolution. 2, that the National Assembly's decisions of 28 September 2023 and 13 August 2024, which remove county governments as beneficiaries of RMLF and as beneficiary of the Kenya shillings 10,522,211,853 for the financial years 2024-2025 and financial year 2025-2026, be deemed as illegal and unconstitutional and therefore quashed. 3, the court compel the Kenya Roads Board to disburse to the county governments the sum of Kenya shillings 10.522 billion due to them for the financial year 2024-2025. 4, an injunction to prevent the continued exclusion of counties from RMLF funding and to stop the Kenya Roads Board from funding the Kenya Urban Roads Authority and the Kenya Rural Roads Authority, KERA, through the RMLF. The Kenya Roads Board and Cabinet Secretary Roads and the Transport, the Attorney General and Parliament to amend the Kenya Roads Board Act of 1999 to include county governments as... Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from the loud consultations behind me. And this is a matter that I have seen many of us agitate on, but few now are paying attention.
Honorable member leaning next to another member. Who is that?
Major Bashir.
Major Bashir. A retired major. Take your seat.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Major retired is a retired major. That is why he's leaning, not standing at attention. 6, Honorable Speaker, is an order directing the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport and the Attorney General to reclassify all roads in Kenya within 12 months to align with the constitutionally permissible framework, national trunk roads and county roads. On the 19th of August 2024, the court granted conservatory orders suspending the decision of the National Assembly of 13th August 2024 not to recognize and or remove county governments as beneficiaries of the RMLF in the financial year 24-25, and the decision of the National Assembly to further remove county governments as beneficiaries of the 10.5 billion conditional grants from funds derived from the RMLF in the financial year 24-25. Subsequently, the petition was heard before the High Court on 7th April 2025 and judgment reserved for 28th April, which was yesterday. However, before the judgment could be delivered, the parties to the petition agreed to enter into a consent to suspend the delivery of judgment in order to allow for an out-of-court settlement and conclusion of the legislative process in respect of the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill 2025, which this House passed last week. The matter came up before the High Court on 28th April, again yesterday, where the consent was adopted as an order of the court with directions that the matter be mentioned on the 19th of May 2025 to update the court on the progress of negotiations. For the benefit of the member for Kajiado, women for Kajiado, I have said that the Honorable Court yesterday adopted the consent, and the matter will be mentioned on the 19th of May 2025 to update the court on the progress of negotiations. Honorable Speaker, I'm repeating that so that it is clear to members to understand where we are, so that even as we engage with this matter, because I'm aware the CS in charge of transport is lined up to appear before the House, so that we are measured, that we are in a process of negotiating. And it is important that when you're in a process of negotiating, we are very measured in the manner of things that we do and say. Honorable Speaker, in light of these developments, the House leadership has scheduled a meeting on 5th May 2025 with the Council of Governors to deliberate on the matters arising out of the court case with the aim of a settlement of the case out of court. As I conclude, Honorable Speaker, allow me to take this 5th of May. Allow me to take this opportunity on behalf of the House Business Committee to wish all members a restful period as they spend time with their families during this short working recess. Members will remember that this is supposed to be the long recess, which would have been about 4 to 5 weeks. We have since cut it to 3 weeks to allow us to be back in time to process the budget for the next financial year, and also for members to be around during the National Prayer Breakfast, which is slated, as Honorable Speaker, you said in your communication earlier, for the benefit of those who are not in the House, on the 29th of May, which is the first Thursday after we resume. Therefore, wish all of you a good recess as we embark on this very short recess of 3 weeks, which is also a working recess. Many of our committees will be sitting to consider the budget estimates, that some of which I've just tabled and others that will be tabled later this afternoon. With that, I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House, and thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the Speaker's gallery St. Catherine Girls Secondary School from Bomet East, Bomet County. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Yes, Richard Yegon. 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the students from St. Catherine Girls from Bomet East. It happened that they are just coming from my doorstep, and I had not realized that they were coming from my constituency. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to tell the students from my constituency that it is good that they have come to benchmark here, and being here means they are going to work very hard, and in the near future, most of them are going to join this August out, or 1 or 2 of them will join. I want to encourage them to that before they go back home. Just try to learn a lot by moving around, seeing all what's happening here, so that in the near future you get an encouragement here so that you can go places in the near future. I want to wish you well and welcome to this August House. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Clerk, call back order number 6 for the minority leader to give notice of motion.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, I'm happy the issue of RLMF is taking another direction.
Yes.
Direction of negotiation, consultation, engagement, not the way it was before, only the court.
Yes.
So, Mr. Speaker, I beg to give a notice of motion on the establishment of an ad hoc committee on a framework for the streamlining and consolidation of education funding in the country for purpose of provision of free and compulsory basic education through National Education Fund. Aware that the Kenya Vision 2030 was rolled out with the aim of transforming Kenya into a newly industrializing middle-income country, providing a high quality of life to all its citizens by 2030. Appreciating that education is a crucial compound of accelerating the realization of Vision 2030, hence Article 43(1) and 53(1)(b) of the Constitution entitles every child to the right to free and compulsory basic education. Noting that the government provides capitation per child towards free primary education and subsidized secondary and tertiary education, which is supplemented by funds from household contributions, grants, donations, levies, charities, scholarships, and bursaries, including those from Presidency, Ministry of Education, the National Government, Constituency Development Fund, the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, and county governments. Cognizant that despite the Constitution provision on free basic education and the framework for financing education, parents and guardians still bear significant cost for boarding, meals, supplementary learning materials, and infrastructural development, necessitating bursary support for needy students, Mr. Speaker. Concerned that the multiplicity of channels and standards involved in education financing contributes to multiple allocation of bursaries and scholarships to single beneficiaries, disadvantaging deserving students. Further, concerned that the process of allocation and distribution of bursary funds and the identification of beneficiaries for bursaries and scholarships lacks transparency and clear eligibility criteria, and the application and processing procedures do not provide for established appeal mechanisms for resources by students denied bursary or scholarship awards. Acknowledging that the absence of a comprehensive database of students in basic and higher education hampers the effective and equitable disbursement and utilization of bursaries and scholarships, and the current funding model, including insufficient government capitation, exacerbates this issue. Considering that the education financing models are currently designed, particularly the disbursement of bursaries and scholarships, is fragmented, uncoordinated, and inefficient, leading to duplication, incompetencies, lack of accountability, and overlapping mandates among multiple government and private entities, including between the national government and county governments, contrary to the fourth schedule of the Constitution. Deeply concerned that lack of a unified and comprehensive framework on allocation, issuance, administration, coordination, synchronization, management, and oversight of education funding, particularly bursaries and scholarships, in sync with government capitation, not only causes duplication, incompetencies, and unaccountability, but also hampers the realization of free and compulsory basic education in Kenya. Appreciating that the education funding, including capitation, bursaries, and scholarships, play a vital role in supplementing funding for enhancing access to free education, particularly for children from disadvantaged backgrounds, hence contributing to the realization of a universal basic education. Now, therefore, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 259C, the House, Mr. Speaker, my eyes is failing me. Mr. Speaker, the House resolves to establish an ad hoc select committee to review the current education funding administration processes in the country and recommend a unified, comprehensive, and sustainable framework for the purposes of facilitating free and compulsory education at the primary, secondary, and tertiary levels. B, approves following terms of reference to guide the ad hoc select committee in undertaking the mandate. 1, conduct a situational analysis of all existing education funds at national and county levels, map and analyze all existing education-related funds, including government capitation, bursaries, and scholarships and grants, assess the legal, institutional, financial, and operational aspects of the current education funds administration in the country, review existing policies, procedures, and best practices related to education fund administration, both locally and internationally, engage stakeholders, including students, education institutions,